keeps me from my winter hell. I've got candles and candy, I can be your daddy if you only let me creep into your prison cell. Hey baby, can you tell I'm not a criminal? Your choice is seminal. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say, just find your way and try to stay true. Just speak low, stand in your row, try not to show this life's a show. Try not to glow way down below. Oh, it's a lot of woe, and that's not a place where you would like to go. I've got cigarettes and brandy, which could come in handy if you just help me loosen up my hand grenades fuse. Baby, don't refuse my truth, but it's up to you not to choose. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say, just find your way and try to stay true. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say, just find your way and try to stay true, 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 true,
Well, hey. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me say hi to you guys before I invite my special guest, Allie, up. Hi, Shamita. Hey, Spencer. Good to see you. Hey, Tia. Oh, thank you very much. Tia said, just wanted to say hi and wish you well. So nice to see you and watch True Crime. Back to the bushes. Will you come out those bushes, girl? You're welcome. It's good to see you, too. Hey, Neat Noodle. Good to see you. Hey, the Think Tress. Good to see you. Hey, Cuff You. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Petunia. Oh, my goodness. It's been a hot minute. Good to see you, babe. How is everybody tonight? All right. Listen, I ain't trying to keep y'all super duper late. Let me bring Allie up. Hey, Allie. What's going on?
Hey, well,
Hi.
hopefully you can ignore the extremely loud frogs, but I have to be outside because the kids are in bed, so it's just what it is.
Listen, nobody say nothing to Allie about her ambiance in the background. Okay. I want her to be here and I want her ambiance to be here as well. She's made a great
Thank
personal
you.
sacrifice to be sitting outside
Thank you.
just
Well, at
to
least
come
it's
up here.
warm.
So y'all be nice. Hey, Rachel, good to see you. Have you seen any of this, Allie? This hearing?
No, only like a 60-second clip that was on a short, and all I saw where she was like, "Can you please? I know you're personally biased towards me," and he was like, "How?" And then that was it. So I didn't see like what happened after that, what happened before. I'm excited to see it, but yeah, so just a short little clip.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just tell y'all the buffoonery that occurred in this courtroom on from Lori Vallow Daybell Esquire sent me over the edge after the buffoonery from earlier in the day, which was the Karen Reed retrial, when the evidence technician was on the stand and couldn't seem to answer a question. It was a straightforward, very simple question, but somehow it just eluded her. And at one point, honestly, bless Alessi's heart. Now, y'all know how I feel about Alessi. I heart Alessi, and I really need to get a cricket or pay somebody. I will pay you to make me an I heart Alessi t-shirt so I can wear it, please. Like, I would like to have it in a sleep shirt so I can sleep with it, please. I just love that man because I love shade when it's done in a very, very classy way. And he does it every single time. He never loses his cool. He just does such a great job. And I thought that I made this today for you guys for when I go on my rants. So this is for y'all. Are you ready? Here we go.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Love it.
That's Han Solo. That's one of my favorite parts of Star Wars. All right, so
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. We're all fine here. All right, you guys, just wait.
Oh, I'm excited.
See this buffoonery. Like, just wait.
He's
just
handsome too.
He is.
I'm sorry.
Handsome.
You gotta say yeah.
He is a very good looking judge. Let me see if I can make these settings a little better. I don't know. The picture looks fuzzy. It's probably because it's on pause. All right. What?
I just gotta say, Bendy, I cannot believe we're finally to the point where she's almost through all of her trials. And it's so nice to have the facts. I get, like, I don't know, when these new cases are breaking and you see all these channels, like, covering, like, these new cases that haven't been to court that have no information. I wish that they would follow through. I wish that there was more of waiting for the facts. Let's get to the, what actually happened and not just what it looks like. So
hey, do you have something
crazy.
running in your background? Like, are you on your phone or did you come in on your laptop?
No, I do not. I don't think I'm on my phone, but I don't have any YouTube going yet. No.
Because every once in a while, do you guys hear it too? Every once in a while, it will cut in, and I don't want to freak you out, but I don't know another way to describe this. It sounds like a friggin' spirit box. Like, you'll be talking, and then there'll be a in the background.
Oh, Jesus.
In between.
No.
Okay, Rachel hears it. Thank you, Rachel, because for a minute I thought I might have been starting to suffer from some auditory. No, it's
He just did a really loud one.
Okay, mute yourself and
It's
go to
terrifying
YouTube.
sound.
It is. Allie, go to YouTube, mute yourself, go to YouTube and rewind a few seconds and listen to it.
Dude, I'm gonna go get
you
my Whoa, shit! Can I just get my laptop? Hold on a second.
Okay, yeah.
Don't start without me.
I'm not going to start without you. You guys know that I can stall a show, and I can stall a show for Allie.
Sound.
It is scary.
I can't get over that. Okay.
Okay. It's coming. It's happening right now. When you go get your laptop, like while you're doing that, go listen back on YouTube so you can hear it. I'm telling you, you get a white candle and put it out there with you.
Okay. I will. All right. Bye.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What happened today was crazy pants. Okay. I was shocked. Okay. Like, I've come to expect ridiculousness to come out of Lori's mouth. That's not what was shocking. Okay. It is the, the level of ridiculousness, her tone, it was just not good at all. And at one point, I really thought that the judge was going to say this to her.
No, you shut up. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, criminal.
Because that's my reaction. That's what I would have told her. She was completely out of pocket, you guys. I know that she's big, huge mad. Okay. Like, she's not happy that she got found guilty. She's accusing, that she's made accusations of jury tampering. She's filed a motion for a retrial. It was denied, because that's how it goes. The first place it goes is to the original trial judge. The original trial judge is like, no, denied. She can appeal it, of course. Will it go anywhere? Probably not. Most likely not. Honestly, I mean, it's what she decided to do. She wanted to represent herself, and the only person that she can blame for the poor representation is herself. And the problem with Lori is that Lori fails to recognize that the calls are coming from inside the house. Lori, it's you. You are the problem. You. Okay? Nobody's doing anything to you. You have done so much to other people. Okay? Ugh. Her attitude was so stank. Are you ready? Did you hear it?
Dude, yes. What
See?
the hell? Now I am scared.
Oh God. I didn't want to scare you, but at first I thought it was just me. And I thought, do I have another window open that I can't see, some invisible window? Because sometimes Alice jumps up on the desk and she does touch the keyboard. Okay. I don't know. She's probably making a report of some sort. Who knows? But she's adjusted settings before. And I thought, is there like an invisible window that I can't see? Am I having auditory hallucinations? I went through the whole list before I even brought it up to you. I made sure it wasn't me.
Is it done?
Yes, it's not doing it anymore.
All I could think getting on the computer was like, if it's still doing that sound, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna have
to hose you down with holy water, girl.
Oh my God, that was so freaking creepy. Yes, Tia, it really was terrifying. She said, see? That comment was funny, though. Sorry, you guys. All right.
Okay, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Brace yourselves. Oh, wait, Allie, did you get to hear my other new one that I made? Listen to this one. This is my favorite.
No, you shut up! Don't talk to me! Don't talk to me, criminal!
No, I didn't see that, but I like it.
That's my newest one. All right, you ready?
Yes.
My second newest one. All right, here we go.
For the record, I believe the victim is appearing virtually.
Lori Daybell.
All right.
Right off the rip. Thank you, closed captions, for getting this correct. Lori Daybell. Captioning's knows. Evil lurks. That's right. Yeah. Lori Daybell. Right there. For everybody to see. Fucking Lori.
We have a number of things to discuss and get through here today. First of all is the motion for new trial the defendant filed. I received the response. I think the reply is due today. Is that being filed?
Yes, Your Honor, I have it right here. And
is it ready to be filed?
Yes.
Okay, we'll file that. You have a copy for the state?
I do.
Okay. The response, I'll take a look, or the reply, I should say. I'll take a look at that. The next thing I wanted to discuss was the state had filed a notice.
Hold on, I want to ask Neat. No, Neat, the victim is Brandon Boudreaux. He's appearing virtually. That's who they're talking about, babe. Not Lori. Lori ain't no victim. If she is, she's a victim of her own self.
It's intent to use defendant's other acts to establish conspiracy, premeditation, and/or establish motive pursuant to Rule 404B. In your pretrial statement, you indicated you wish to strike or withdraw that?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's withdrawn. Next, we have state's request to preclude the media from showing the face of a testifying witness, one of the witnesses. I'm assuming you don't really have a dog in that fight, Ms. Daybell? Or do you have a response?
I don't have a dog in the fight, but I haven't had a chance to read over. I just got a bunch of this stuff, so I'm not really sure what they're asking for.
Well, one of the witnesses also works in an undercover capacity, and showing that witness's face could compromise other investigations or things that witness is doing. So it's a request to not broadcast his face through the media out into the public.
And is this witness FBI or something to that effect?
It's Nicholas Balance.
Yeah, that's
I think he is an
FBI,
FBI
Lori.
agent.
Correct, he is an FBI agent.
Oh.
Idiot.
Correct, he is an FBI agent.
Correct, he is an FBI agent.
Idiot.
And he's a relevant witness because of why?
Yes, take that pause. Take that pause, Judge. I don't blame you. Take that pause, take that size. He's relevant because of why. Thank you, Lori Vallow Daybell, Esquire.
She's
He's
got all the
relevant
confidence.
because of why. Huh?
Sorry, Bendia. She's got all the confidence.
All of it.
Crazy.
What you mean? Why is the Lori? What do you mean? Why is the FBI agent relevant? I mean, hello?
Yeah.
Anybody home? Like, what are you talking about? He's relevant because of why? He's a freaking FBI. He investigated your ass, Lori. Duh.
Yeah.
Did you even look at your paperwork? No, you didn't. You're too busy curling your hair and dyeing it with polident. Y'all,
Yeah.
wait till you see her hands is. She's got nail polish on.
Wait, what is she dyeing her hair with?
Polident? I don't know. Somebody came in one of the viewers came into the chat one time and had been at that jail where she's at in Maricopa County and said that they use polident to bleach their hair because it's got bleach in it to lighten their hair.
Huh. Well,
I'm
if
just
she
telling
does,
you,
she's using, that's interesting. I didn't know that, but if she does, she's using some sort of like foils or something too. You know what I mean? But that is so. And where's she getting the nail polish?
I don't know. Where is she even getting money for nail polish? Who the hell is putting money on this chick's books?
For real? Good question.
Emma Daybell, are you putting money on Lori's books?
Probably.
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
According to the state's notice, he created a PowerPoint regarding some of the Wi-Fi or cellular data
Cellular and
location.
Wi-Fi use, yes.
No.
I have no real objection to him being obscured. I don't know how they'll do it, but
All right, so I'll direct the media during trial when witness Nicholas Balance is called to testify. They can't broadcast his face out. They can focus the lower part of the witness stand or something like that. But
Wonder if
his
he's
likeness
undercover or
or image
something.
or face.
Yes, he does do undercover work. Now,
that makes sense.
can we just take a moment? Lori can't figure out how they would not film a witness's face. And she wants us to believe that God put her ass in charge of collecting the $144,000. Let that sink in, you guys. Can't imagine how they could avoid filming somebody's face, but is responsible for collecting the $144,000. Lori,
Yeah, she's got a lot of confidence, but not a lot of IQ, not a big IQ. You know?
no, she doesn't. No, at all.
Should not be broadcast out to the public. So I'm essentially granting the state's request in that regard. Next, we have state's amended request for Rule 609 hearing and the defendant's response. When I read the amended request, you're simply adding the most recent conviction, correct?
Correct, yeah.
You didn't really respond to that in your reply. You kind of just talked about the previous reply that you had made about, did you notice that she had asked to basically add your most recent conviction?
I saw that, but I didn't know what the law was since I wasn't sentenced for that yet. So I wasn't quite sure where to go on that, so I left it off.
Okay, let me tell you, Lori Vallow Daybell, Esquire, it doesn't matter that you haven't been sentenced, dum-dum. It matters that you've been convicted. Okay? Now, you sat there in front of God and everybody, and you said that you could totes handle this, and you didn't understand. So when you don't know the answer, you just leave it blank? Christ.
Couldn't you ask your paralegals or your people that are helping you?
Couldn't you ask the other homegirls that you've made in the jail that you're their advocate? Remember those girls? You couldn't ask one of them?
Yeah.
Thank you, Cuffy, for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Welcome to the ward. This is the kind of professionalism you can expect. Oh my God.
What were you laughing at?
Him
You're-
saying you didn't even answer. Did you even read the answer? Did you even read the question? You just talked about something else. Oh God, this is so pathetic.
Tia said
here we
she's
go.
got bigger fish to fry. These piddly little things mean nothing to her.
Yeah, that's right. It's all temporary.
Yeah, like she's got to save the world, or at least her 144,000. This ain't shit.
Yeah. Oh my God, here we go.
Okay, with the 609, I think similar to the last trial, I'll put that off, and depending on if you testify or not, it only really becomes relevant if you decide to testify. So we'll table that for the time being. Next, I have the state's motion limiting to preclude inadmissible evidence relating to Tammy Latchik, who is a evidence scene technician type person from the, I think it's city of Chandler. Gilbert. Did you have a chance to review that?
I just got it, and I am in the middle of responding to that. But I do have a request in that regard
Which is?
from the state. Since it was, just given to us, and I'm sure that the state had that information clearly before now.
Hold on, I think I'm wrong. I guess when I was looking at it on my phone, it looked like nail polish. Clearly, she doesn't have nail polish. So I was wrong. I'm not too proud to say that I was wrong, unlike the people testifying for the Commonwealth over in the Karen Reed trial. See how it's done? It's very easy. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. See how it's done? You can do it.
You can do it. Tia said, does she have a ring on? Does she have a ring on?
Yes, she does. She wears it the whole time.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Cuffy, I'd like to thank you for choosing me to be in your 3. I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Awesome. Yeah. So, whoa. Did she
Whoa.
have... Oh. When was she allowed to have that?
She's been allowed to have that, babe.
Okay, even during the first trial, because we didn't see it, but I'm curious, was it?
I don't know if she had it during her trial in Idaho.
Yeah. Okay. But since then.
And you know what? I think when she spoke at her sentencing, I believe she was wearing it at that time too.
We could definitely go back and see, since at least we got to see that.
Yes, we'll definitely have to go and check that out. All right, here we go.
Now,
Hold on.
we need additional information.
I'm going to rewind it a little because she's about to go off on a whole rant. And I want you guys to hear it in its entirety without my apology in the middle of it. So here we go.
But I do have a request in that regard.
Which is?
From the state. Since it was, just given to us, and I'm sure that the state had that information clearly before now, we need additional information, and due to that late disclosure, I was going to ask the state if they could disclose to us the employment records of Tammy and the emails regarding this incident and any recordings or body cam videos, so that we don't have to have my investigator try to do an investigation so quickly. If they have that information, if it could be turned over to the defense so that we don't have to try to gather that information so quickly.
Well, I don't think you're necessarily entitled to all those things if it's deemed that incident is irrelevant to her testimony. So I think the threshold issue is, if you want to file a response where you think that is relevant, something that you can get into, an incident that happened 4 years later, I guess when can you file your response?
Without any further information, I don't know when is that response necessarily due, Your Honor.
Now.
It was filed May 3rd, so technically it's already past due. So can you file it by next, you have a copy of it now,
I just got a copy, correct.
right? How about next Wednesday, the 21st?
Yes, I can do that.
All right, so we'll set
And I have
that
a
aside.
question on that as well. Can I make an objection on the sealing? Can I ask under what law or rule or statute that this motion was sealed under?
They've requested to file it under seal because of the nature of the motion and the contents of what that incident is, not needing to necessarily be in the public eye. So if you want to include in your motion an objection to it being filed under seal, you can do that as well.
Okay.
So you'll file that no later than May 21st. I don't need a reply on that. I'll deal with that, I guess, probably our first day of trial or so.
So you're not going to set a 609 hearing?
This is not a,
Oh, not the 609, but a hearing for Tammy Lachik?
I can listen to oral argument when you filed your reply, but I don't believe I needed any sort of hearing on it. So I'll deal with that May 29th or 30th, I suppose. All right, then we have the defendant's motion for no restraints in trial dated May 6th. I don't know, in your motion, I don't know where you get the idea that the sheriff's office recommendation ever was that you have no restraints at all. Their minimum recommendation was that you wear a rack belt.
Well, I have it right here and I copied it verbatim.
Yeah, you
Okay.
said, what it said was my recommended minimum requirements as listed above, and those were to wear a rack belt.
It said, or the recommendation of MCSO was that they could have a unarmed detention officer and an armed deputy sheriff if I was to not have any restraints.
Right, but that wasn't their recommendation.
Hang on to your britches.
I've
It's about
received
to go
the defense
sideways.
motion. I've received non-party Maricopa County Sheriff Jerry Sheridan's response.
On the MCSO security justifications, my understanding is was his recommendation.
Your Honor, Joseph Vigil for the Sheriff's Office, if you have any questions.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll deny the motion from the defendant. The same conditions will be set that we had in the first trial, that being you wear the rack belt, no leg brace. There was one incident during the trial where you asked to take a break because a strap was hanging down behind your jacket. We did that. We rectified the situation. There's been no indication whatsoever that the jury noticed the rack belt or anything like that. So I think those conditions are appropriate and will remain for the second trial.
Your Honor, the jury was not polled to see if they noticed anything either. Was that correct?
Right. There was no request for that.
So here comes Lori acting as if they did something wrong by not polling the jury, but it's your job to ask for the jury to be polled. By the way, I watched every single day of your trial, Lori, and I'm going to tell you right now, and I commented every single day on your outfit of the day. I watched. At no time in your trial did any strap come loose or hang down in a way that the jurors could see. The only thing that anybody saw was your outfit of the day provided kindly by the Motel 6 trial attire. Okay? That's it. That's all. Nobody did anything to you. You need to stop playing with these people.
It's crazy because, some courts are totally down for that and some are not, and it just depends. Like if she was we've seen other cases where they took off all the restraints.
But they still have, okay, so what she had was basically a shock belt underneath her clothing. So even if they're not restrained, they wear the shock belt, which is what she had. She wasn't restrained during her trial. What she's
They
wanting,
don't always wear the shock belt, right? Because I don't think
there has to be something. they're not ever, if a defendant is in jail pending trial, there's some type of something on them. George Washington Wagner IV, he had the same thing. Boone had something similar. They all have something. But did they have, so Lori can have her street clothes on. She can have no shackles. Typically they don't like to put shackles on somebody that hasn't been found guilty yet. And the reason why is because, and it is true, it does prejudice the jury. Okay. So typically they're not restrained in a conventional way, like with shackles and handcuffs. They don't have anything around like the way that she is right now. They don't wear that during the trial process. They have some other type of situation. But the alternative in Lori's case, which they did talk about that, where they could put more deputies or whatever, but the sheriff's office said it's not feasible. We don't have the manpower for that. So they agreed that she would basically wear that little brace thing. And I wish they'd put me in charge of it, because I'm telling you right now, she'd accidentally be getting shocked, like accidentally on purpose be getting shocked like 27 times a trial. I'm just telling you. But yeah. It's not a shock collar. It's like a vest.
Sure. I thought I've seen people that have been able to get their attorneys to allow them to have nothing with like certain circumstances, or I don't know. But regardless, yeah, I can see why you wouldn't want it to be seen. But come on, Lori, you have to ask if they saw it. Like you can't. But she's clearly doesn't know the rules, so and she's representing herself,
right?
But that's a choice that she made. She had attorneys that were willing to. She said she had no complaints in those interviews she did. She had no complaints against her attorneys. They were really good. They wanted to do a longer, deeper investigation and wanted to do more for her. She didn't want them to because she didn't want to take the time to do it.
Right. She didn't want to waive her right to a speedy trial. Well, I mean, do you want it good or do you want it fast? That's your choices. And that's how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's keep going. We don't have very much of this, so I don't want to keep you guys too late because I know it's late on the East Coast.
All right, so next we have defendant's motion to consult with advisory council and team during trial dated May 6th. I don't know, I guess, what exactly are you requesting? Are you requesting that during the lunch recesses you be housed somewhere where you can meet with your team?
Correct.
Okay.
And I know that it's a DO situation, and I know that our DO has his other obligations to do, so I didn't know if another officer could if something could be arranged so that I would have time with my team during those breaks and during lunchtime.
We did accommodate that during breaks and recesses during the trial. To the extent that it doesn't delay the jury getting into the courtroom and resuming the trial when we need to, like when we take the 15-minute afternoon recess, that will continue. You'll have an opportunity to meet with them briefly. Over the lunch hour, I think is the real question. I did receive a response this morning from the sheriff's office, which indicates they don't really have an objection to that. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. There is an area on the 4th floor in the South Court Tower where she can be taken to meet with her advisory council, and they'll work that out.
All right. I don't have a problem with that. So if you need to meet with them when we break for lunch, just indicate to the DO that's what you need to do. There may be a day where you don't need to meet with them, but I'll essentially grant. Ms. Kay, I don't assume you have an issue with that.
I have no position on it.
So I'll grant the defendant's motion on that she can meet during the lunch hour. Again, the only restriction on that is that we're not going to delay bringing in the jury at 1:30. We'll expect everyone back in the courtroom to start on time. All right, let's talk about the trial schedule and the screening. I received in the state's pretrial statement. Have you seen that?
I just did, yes.
Your Honor, may I be
Yes,
excused?
go ahead. Thank you. The state's pretrial statement indicate there was some witness scheduling issues. If we get the jury sat on the 30th and impaneled on the 30th, the last Friday in May, and we have our opening statements and begin testimony and evidence Monday, June 2nd, you indicated that, the state indicated you would run out of witnesses either Wednesday or sometime Thursday.
Correct. That are available that week, yes.
Right, and then so we'll definitely go dark on Friday the 6th. I had initially indicated we would be in trial on that day, but if we can't have any witnesses here, we'll be dark on that day, and we'll indicate that for screening purposes for the jurors. I think we'll still indicate that we'll be in trial on the 5th, and we'll have to play that by ear. Maybe we will be dark, maybe we won't. But as far as when you resume on the 9th, you said you thought you would have 3 witnesses left at that point?
Correct.
Do you have an anticipation? Are those witnesses that would each take a whole day, or?
I think it's possible I could finish that day.
So ultimately what I'm getting at is trying to drill down the schedule and screening for the jury. Do we not need to screen them for the week of the 23rd?
Obviously, I just received the defendant's 15.2 that lists 2 different expert witnesses. I did request that they actually comply with Rule 15.2 and give me any information about any of these experts. They've also listed other witnesses. So because of that, I would still screen them for the other week.
Well, maybe we should address that. Is there still no report from Lonnie Dworkin that the state's received?
I have received nothing.
Right. Do you have some sort of expert report you were disclosing?
We will, Your Honor, yes.
When?
Well, when is that going to be? Because it's way past due.
So the state did receive the affidavit from Lonnie explaining the things, which is why they turned over late discovery in the middle of trial. So we did have that. He's working on a few things for us as well now, and I will get with him as soon as possible and get that report to you as soon as possible.
All right, well, it's, depending on what's in that report, it is likely to be precluded at this point, but I'll keep an open mind on that, and I guess we'll wait and see. Let's talk about, for the purposes of scheduling.
Your Honor, and just, there's one other person that I'm Googled.
I'm going to ask her about the other
Okay.
witnesses. I received your supplemental witness list, I think yesterday.
All right. Once again, Lori doesn't understand the rules and doesn't understand that the state has, just as she does, the right to depose witnesses. And when there are experts, a report must be provided in a timely manner so that the state has the opportunity. And I shouldn't even say that. The rules exist for both sides. So a report needs to be made from an expert witness so that the other side can have have an opportunity for them to retain an expert witness and for that expert witness to look over the report so that there can be potential testimony about it. I don't know what Lonnie Dworkin is doing. I don't know what his beef is, because I read in the last trial, before the last trial happened and all the preliminary hearings, all the times that Trina Kay tried to get a hold of somebody from Lori's team to no avail. She CC'd everybody she could possibly think of. And at this point, it's like, come on, Lori, you wanted this fast. You wanted this quick. So you need to work fast and quick. Were you unaware that you were being held in jail during awaiting trial? I mean, is this news to you? Get out of here.
I think she's just trying to, what's her, she's not even going to put on a case. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. It's
What's she going to do? Get up there and ask about bamboo again?
Yeah. No, yeah, she's not going to put on. And so what's her end goal here? Just to be difficult? I don't know.
I don't know. I guess she wants, in her delusional mind, she thinks that what she's showing is how the legal system oppresses everyday citizens and doesn't give them due process. That's what she actually thinks that she's accomplishing here. I think that's because that's all she talks about. But of course, Lori is Lori, and she can be saying one thing and thinking another. So who the hell knows what she's thinking? But I don't know. I think she just likes to push buttons. Now,
Yeah, that's what
I think she just likes to push buttons. I think she's just an agitator. I really do. I think she's an instigator. I cannot stand her. And I don't, it's about to get worse. You guys, if you've walked away from your device, maybe you needed to go potty, maybe you needed to get a little snack, a drink, I don't know. Get back here now. You're going to want to hear this. Okay. And get comfortable, be in a seated position or braced on something, because wait until y'all hear who this heffalump has on her witness list.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Are y'all
I'm
ready?
excited.
Okay,
I'm
here
ready.
we go.
Wait, Bindi, one
Yes.
thing though, when we
Yes.
talk about like what's her end goal here, like she has been found guilty of, several charges that carry life in prison.
Correct.
So it's just kind of, I guess you still have to fight, but I don't know. It's wild to think about. I don't.
He's
I
a
don't know.
lunatic. Hey,
I
Carolina,
probably
good to
wouldn't
see
take
you.
it to trial.
Yeah. Right. If you're gonna look, if Lori's game plan is this, she thinks that there was something fundamentally, she has an appellate issue that she's going to raise that is somehow, in some way, going to win her a new trial. Okay. Why would you not take these charges seriously? Why would you not? You know what I mean? Like, if she's thinking that, this is why her brain doesn't make sense to me. None of her thinking makes sense to me. And quite frankly, if I start understanding how Lori is thinking, y'all come get me. Come get me.
But if you just want it over fast and I don't think I'm not guilty. Well, I don't know. Part of me thinks she might have thought she really would in the last one, but not presenting a case.
Right.
It's like, just plead guilty and get it over with and then go to prison.
Right. Why even bother to, right. Why go through this? Why even have this?
Yeah.
If your end goal is really just, you don't want to be held in the jail, you want to go back to prison, it's comfier in prison for you. Which, okay, but whatever. If that's how it is, then why are you doing all of this? Why not plead guilty and be done with it?
Maybe she likes the attention, these interviews, and I don't know.
Something. Ridiculous ass heifer. All right, here we go, y'all. Now, I told you to brace yourselves.
Okay.
You were already warned. So if y'all fall out, don't be blaming me. I told y'all. All right, here we go.
You have, in addition to Mr. Dorkin, you have Weaver, Barkman, again, Detective Moffat, Jeffrey White, Melanie Gibb, and Zulema Pastanas.
Zulema Pastanas.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Can you repeat it though? Melanie, Zulema, who was the first one?
I'm going to rewind it for you, Allie. Are you ready?
Okay, thank you. Yes.
All right, here we go.
Witness list, I think yesterday. You have, in addition to Mr. Dorkin, you have Weaver, Barkman, again, Detective Moffat, Jeffrey White, Melanie Gibb, and Zulema Pastanas.
Zulema Pastanas.
Okay.
Zulema Pastanas. Lori, do you think those two are going to help you in any way, shape, or form, ma'am? Really? You going to call Mel G after that horrible haircut you gave her, and you think she's going to be on your side? You think she's going to testify to something in any way, shape, or form relevant to anything ever? I mean, Dateline sat down with her for 4 hours and nothing all it was gibberish. Well, I didn't believe it, you know.
True, but I think she just think about what she did at the last one. She was waiting for her moment to confront these people. She even said in the interview, like, that's their biggest thing. She was like looking forward to do, like, confront these people who have lied on me for all this time. I think she's like, if they're not going to call him, I am, because I'm going to get the chance to confront these bitches. you know?
But then when she got the opportunity to confront anybody, she didn't.
I know, but this is her last time. You know what I mean? This is her last swing at it. She might have thought, well, maybe the state will call him next time. I don't know. I'm just theorizing. I'm not saying this is true. Speculating, whatever.
I know, but listen. Okay. I know that this is going to come out wrong, but please follow me here, okay?
Okay.
I'm actually against the judge in this situation and the state, even though I understand the rule for 15.2. You got to do it in a timely manner, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But come on. I need to see a Mel G, Cora over here off. Like, I need to see this face off. I need to see this. Zulema, I mean, what is she going to say to Zulema? You know, how's she really going to confront Zulema? You know? What's she going to get up there and say, you know, you're the one that slipped Alex the poison. And what's Zulema going to say? Yeah, but you gave it to me. I mean, you know, what does she think she's getting at is Zulema? And other than you don't know how to cook green chili enchiladas. I mean, what else?
Well, and apparently, according to Kristen and who else? Rachel, I think her ring is like a hair tie wrapped around her hand, a finger. Or something.
Yes, it is. It was zoomed in on earlier, and I noticed that. But I mean,
sorry, I know that was random. My brain.
I mean, I can't. I don't understand what she really thinks she's going to get out of Melanie Gibb. Can you? You know, Melanie Gibb's going to be like. And also, besides you have a lot of carnal thoughts. Your green chili chicken enchiladas are caca. You know, she's going to get up. I mean, what is Mel G going to get up there and say? I hated that haircut, Lori. You know?
It'll be the confrontation of the century, dude.
Let Judge Brensky, please, for the love of Pete. I don't like Lori. I think she is a whole ass demon. But let her call Mel G. Let her subpoena Mel G. Let Mel G get up to the stand. I mean, listen, if I had to take my pick, if it's got to be between Zulema, who I think was the airbender in their coven, and Mel G, I'm picking Mel. I'm sorry. It's got to be Mel. I need that confrontation.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Now, this was the bright spot of the hearing. It's about to go downhill, and it's about to go downhill real quick. Here we go.
Was Detective Moffat also involved in this case?
He was involved with the case agent of this case while he was the case agent of the other case, correct?
Okay. So he may or may not have, he may have relevant information. Again, I guess that's a wait and see. What about, who's Weaver Barkman?
So he's a ballistics expert.
Is that an expert? So that's an expert. Do you have an expert report that's been disclosed?
Not yet, Your Honor. We're working on it.
Your Honor, since I have not noticed a ballistics expert, that's a big problem, because if I get something, then I would have to do that. So the defendant's, again, extremely late violation of all rules of criminal procedure is a problem.
It is a problem. Who's Jeffrey White?
My investigator.
Oh, okay. And do you have an idea of in what capacity you think he would be called?
Well, we had made a request from the state for the car door and the window that the bullet supposedly hit, and we were going to have him inspect that as well. We have recently found out that those two things do not exist. So I'm not sure what they're going to be putting up as far as ballistics in their case in chief, so I was trying to have someone who could be able to look at whatever reports they're trying to put up and rebut anything that they're saying.
Is Mr. White an expert in that area?
Mr. Weaver?
No, I said Jeffrey White.
He's my investigator.
Right, that's who I was asking, who has relevant information. What's Mr. White's relevant information for, why might he be called into trial?
Because he's interviewing the witnesses as well, the
Lori,
defense witnesses.
Lori, that doesn't make his information relevant, you nimwit. He is your investigator. What are you going to call him up there to ask him? Did you interview so-and-so? Did you haul your cookies down to the police department and get into their evidence locker and try to inspect the car with door and the bullet? He has no relevant information, you idiot. That's what she's trying to get him to get up there and do. She wants to put her investigator on the stand.
Interesting. Super. It is like crazy to see her. And he has no patience for her at this point. He's done, even though he gave her a lot of room in the trial. He really did. But
he's been patient. He's like, she's like wearing on his last nerve. You can tell he's getting quite frustrated because, you know, this is a Lori problem. This is not a state problem. This is not a judge problem. This is a Lori problem.
yeah.
It's about
And
to
if
get
you
him.
haven't turned in the whatever you're supposed to turn it, you know what I mean? You have to
Right.
follow the rules, lady.
Right. And you can't
Keisha.
just, right. Keisha Land, you can't just say, I want person A, B, C, and D to testify. Okay. They don't just let anybody that you want to testify come in and testify. You have to show to the court that they have relevant information. Otherwise, 11 billion people, you could call 11, it would be nonstop. I mean, Lori, what the fuck? Do you even like, do they even have court TV or law and crime or something available to her at the jail that she could just kind of like, even before she was in jail, you never like caught a trial ever?
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I'm done.
She's been through a few of them now.
Off. Huh?
You know, she's been through a few of them now, so she should know.
Right. Right.
More
You're
than
on
your
your
average
third
person.
trial, dum-dum. And there was like 800 years of pretrial motions in Idaho. Were you paying attention at all? God.
So is it some sort of extrinsic impeachment if they,
Correct.
what about Melanie Gibb?
So Melanie Gibb and Zelina Pastinas were both initially noticed in the state's 15.1. They have not noticed them again. I don't know if they can still call them if they're on their list, but they have relevant information to this case.
Have they been presented for an interview by the state?
They've both been interviewed multiple times by the
I
state.
mean, not by police officers, I mean by either a prosecutor or someone in her office in preparation for trial.
In this case,
Yeah, in either case.
not that I'm aware of.
Have they been subpoenaed?
The subpoenas are out.
What relevant information would they have?
They have relevant information to Brandon Boudreaux
Okay.
and around that
What
time.
is the nature of that relevant information?
It will come apparent if they have to get up and testify, Your Honor. I will only call them if I need
Well, they're going to
them.
be precluded if you can't give me some minimal, what relevant information they have. Just saying that they're relevant doesn't make them relevant.
Ooh.
Even though he handles her so professionally, but make no mistake, Lori, what he just said to you, he said in all caps, underlined in bold font. Okay, pay attention. You can't just say somebody's relevant and boom, they're relevant. You have to show it. And the bar for relevant information is actually really low. But, you know, she could say any number of things. Zulema and Melanie were with me on the day that this shooting took place, and we were calling the coroners, whatever. She could say any number of things, but here she is. It will become apparent. Yeah, it needs to become apparent right now. Okay? Like, you can't just be
Now's
holding
the
on
time.
to it. Right.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, here we go. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, and is this procedure that I have to say what each of my witnesses are relevant ahead of time and give my whole case in chief over to the state? It is?
Yeah,
That's
just
how
like-
it works?
like
That's
the-
the rules of law?
Stop interrupting me. Yes, that is the rule of law. That's just what the state does. They tell you what relevant information each witness has. So my answer is yes.
Oh my.
So if you can't tell me what relevant information they have, they'll be precluded.
They both have had dealings with Brandon Boudreaux and Alex Cox. So
Okay, so does someone, that was a server for them at a restaurant. It doesn't make them have relevant information as to this case. Anyone who came into contact with Mr. Boudreaux or Mr. Cox had some interaction with them at some point in their lifetime does not make them a relevant witness. So what is their relevance?
the state had them on their witness list and you're saying they're not relevant?
Apparently not. Are you calling them?
No, they're not on my,
Police interview however many people they interview because they're working on the case. They don't know who has relevant information, who doesn't have relevant information. All the people that they interview don't end up being relevant. So because they're listed in a police report somewhere, doesn't necessarily make them relevant.
Okay, their relevance lies in if they have to rebut something that the state puts on in their case in chief. They're just called in case they need them. They're subpoenaed in case I need them.
Okay.
All right.
Lori, that's not how it works. Okay. You don't get to, their relevance isn't in case I need them. You have to be specific. And the reason you have to be specific is just like the state. If you had wanted to depose any of their witnesses that they had noticed, right? Based on the relevant information that the state disclosed that they're going to testify to, you could depose them on that. You idiot.
What's the rule for like rebuttal witnesses? Because I know sometimes that happens where like you bring in somebody that wasn't called originally, but like for a rebuttal.
Well, you have, okay, there can't be a surprise witness. So when they use, like for the state is usually the one who makes a rebuttal case. Okay.
Right.
So when that happens, they've listed that person as a witness where in order the order of their testimony is dependent. They might not call them in their case in chief, but choose to call them for the rebuttal case. But the defense knows about it. They know that they are a potential witness.
Okay.
Always. Also, you're asking the judge for a freaking favor, and here you go getting crunk. That's a fantastic plan of action, Lori.
Yeah, because she's trying to let him know, like, and not make it a surprise. But dude, come on, this is not the way you do it.
Right. It's about to go even further south.
It sounds like they don't have relevant information. However, I'll include these names on the potential witness list for screening the jurors if the jurors have any knowledge of any of these witnesses out of an abundance of caution. That's really the purposes for today is the questionnaire that goes out to the jurors. So I will include these witnesses. Again, Mr. Dworkin, Mr. Barkman, if they're expert witnesses that haven't provided any sort of report or expert witness testimony, they're likely to be precluded as witnesses. But I'll include them on the witness list.
Thank you, Your Honor. Oh,
I
wait.
think
Lori ain't got no couth.
what I'm hearing is you said you might finish on the 9th or the 10th? I'm going to indicate on the questionnaire to the jurors, potential jurors, that the trial is likely to end by June 13th, Friday, June 13th. However, I'll include that Monday, the 23rd, as a, and kind of say,
Yeah.
if needed,
Right?
or if required, might go to June 23rd out of an abundance of caution. So I'll finalize that questionnaire. It's pretty much done, and it's pretty much the same as the last one, except for the names of the witnesses, the specific allegations, and then I removed the question about viewing medical examiner autopsy type photos because that's not needed in this case. But I'll send you guys out a copy. Actually, I could probably finish it in the next couple minutes and print out a copy so you have it before you leave here today. That questionnaire, I need to get with the jury office. I think we were talking about sending it out the 22nd and cutting it off the 28th or 27th. And then we'll meet again on the 29th in this courtroom to go over the responses. That'll be at 1 p.m. on the 29th.
Your Honor, in light of the juror misconduct or the alleged juror misconduct,
Here we go.
I have to object to us having so much information go out about my personal information in that jury questionnaire. Do you not think that was a problem?
Lori, what personal information? What are they giving your measurements? Is your social security number attached? Are people out in the world with the jury questionnaire using your personal information to apply for lines of credit? What are you talking about? Oh, God. I can't with her, you guys. I cannot do this. I don't know how I'm going to maintain myself during her trial. Plus Karen Reed. Oh, God.
What personal information?
Yeah.
The state versus Vallow Daybell.
It's the name of the case.
Yeah, but you don't put that on anyone else's questionnaire or one other person that's ever had that questionnaire ever put out with their name on it. They just don't do it.
Do it in every trial I've done. And
Then the people are just going to Google it,
We're
and then we're
not-
going to have the same exact problem we had getting a jury for that case.
We
We're going to
don't
have the same exact problem.
Are you done? Are you just going to keep? Okay. How do we screen for if people have heard about you if we don't include your name?
Yeah, smart girl. Yeah. Do you have a response?
Do you have a response to that?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you gave them the name, and they're just going to Google it.
They're instructed not to Google it. All right. And if you'll recall, when we had all the jurors come in person, one of the first questions I asked them in the afternoon was, who has looked up this case since you filled out the questionnaire? And we had 2 or 3 people raise their hand, and those people were excused.
Jen,
So
Yes.
I have to include your
during that
name.
interview with
Just-
the news I told you that you should watch,
Yes.
she had a huge problem with the jurors. She did not believe that they were honest. She believed that they looked up, because like the lady after the trial was finished, she's like, would you be surprised to know that they like wondered why Tylee didn't testify? And when they found out after it was done, like they were, devastated. And Lori's like, sure, that's what they say. You really think they didn't look it up during the trial? Come on.
I mean, Lori, just because you are a lying liar face who tells lies, who lives on Liars Lane in the town of Liarsville, doesn't mean that everybody is. You act like people are chomping at the bit to sit on this jury because it's you. Now, they might have been trying to for Charles, and they might have been trying to for I actually don't think that's the case. I have to say, I don't think that's the case. There might have been, in a handful of people, in a bunch of people where there might have been like one or two, maybe three people that had ulterior motives, sure. It's not a perfect system, for the love of Pete. We've seen it happen before. But you got a fair trial. You didn't present a case. Did you miss the part where they also thought that you would they kind of expected you to testify, since you talked in your opening statement about it being a family tragedy, and yet you put no? I mean, you're not required to put any witnesses on. You're not required to testify or present a case. The burden isn't on you. But did you listen to what they said in total, or did you just hear what you wanted to hear that fits your narrative? I think B.
Yeah, definitely
Off.
B. Which she tried to say she didn't have a chance to see what all the jury had said, but it's crazy that one of the jurors like thought she was freaking innocent until closing arguments.
That's the way it should be. That is absolutely the way that it should be. That's how it should work. So there was no jury misconduct, Lori.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there is. I'm just shocked that it took that long. Like most of them felt, you know what I mean, after
Right.
certain evidence was showed. But like she almost could have had a hung jury if they didn't do a great closing argument or whatever, a sufficient one to that jury.
Right. I mean,
But yeah,
Lori,
no misconduct. Get over yourself.
right, Lori, stop it. Just stop it.
Screen out for the people that know about your case. And we released about 100 jurors last time because of their answers to that. If we don't include your name, that's 100 extra jurors we have to go through in person and ask if they know you. And in fact, that increases the risk of tainting the rest of the jury pool if we have someone stand up and say, yeah, I know about her case in Idaho where blah, 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 in front of the rest of the jurors.
By the way, Lori, I don't know what problem you're talking about, ma'am. It took them 3 days to seat a jury. So what was the issue? Oh, that's right. There wasn't one.
That'll burn the whole panel. We'll have to start over. So I'm going to include your name in the questionnaire. I don't think there was any other personal information or background information about you in that questionnaire other than your name. So was there any other issues you had with the questionnaire?
No, Your Honor.
Uh-oh.
So the schedule will be, we'll meet 1 p.m. to go over those answers.
That no sounded like
On
yes.
the 29th. On the 30th, we'll meet at 10. We'll have walk-in jurors that morning that will fill out the questionnaire. And then the people that survive are screening on the 29th, and those that survive the morning of the 30th will come in the afternoon of the 30th. This will be back in the courtroom we were in last time, 5D of the South Court Tower. Again, I expect to seat that jury at some point that afternoon. And then we'll plan on going Monday through Thursday, June 2nd to.
If y'all hear anything squeaking in the background, just wait. The wheels is a turning, okay? That's what you're hearing.
June 5th, then June 9th to June 13th, and if need be, June 23rd.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I would have to ask that you would recuse yourself from the obvious personal bias that you have against me and send us to master calendar for this scheduling of a trial.
And what personal bias is that?
A lot, obviously, the personal bias that you're showing right now and that you've shown on the FTR several times during the trial.
Okay, well, I don't have any personal bias, all right? I've over-accommodated you on when you have to disclose things. In fact, your expert should be summarily precluded today, and I haven't done that. All right? So.
You denied every single one of my motions for a year and a half that I've been here. Every single one of my motions has been denied. And have any of those motions not had merit? You've denied every single motion.
I think I was here this morning about 15 minutes ago when I granted your motion to meet with your attorneys over the lunch hour.
You were. You're correct, Your Honor.
Oh my God.
Look at his face. This is a church read. Yes, Rachel. Shocker. This is why I should be in charge of the button. Okay? Because it's these times and she just needs a little Back to reality. Okay. You did not, because she answers like a 3-year-old. Okay. And no offense to 3-year-olds. 3-year-olds don't know any better. They're learning. Their arguments get better with time. This lady is stunted at the 3-year-old level.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. Look what you did. Every single one of my arguments you shut down. Not every single one. He just granted one of your motions. Idiot. And yes, Emily, this is the real Lori. This is the Lori that Colby talks about. This is the real Lori.
Yep. Oh, thank you, Emily.
Just shock her. Just, she just needs a little zap. Like, all right, here we go.
I have granted other motions of yours. Okay.
That's the first motion that you've ever granted
Well,
in my behalf.
file motions that have a legal basis, and I might grant them.
So you're saying none of my motions have had merit?
Yes, that's
Not-
exactly what
Not many, no.
he said.
Burn.
And none of the motions that my first team, you denied every one of my first team's motions. You denied every one of my second team's motions. And now you denied every one of my motions until today.
I haven't denied every one of you.
Let me just say this, Lori. Back the fuck up off the mic. You and Melanie. What is it about the microphone that you and Mel G just seem to want to be all up on it? Like you're about to eat it, like it's a meal. Back up off the mic. We can hear you. He can hear you. God.
Team's motions. And now you denied every one of my motions until today.
I haven't denied every one of your motions.
Every single one of their motions was denied. Every single one of the second team's motions were denied, and all mine. So you didn't come into this with any bias against me in the first place?
Again, file a motion that has legal merit, okay?
And none of my attorneys ever filed a motion with any legal merit?
They filed a motion on your behalf, the first team, to preclude media coverage, and I issued my ruling according to the law, all right? They filed a motion to have you dressed out, not in jail clothes during hearings like this, okay? That was not based in law. I denied that motion. So I've ruled on the motions as required by law.
Without any kind of a conclusion of law in them, just denied, 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 denied. Does that not show a bias and a prejudice against one single person?
All right, are you done?
Are you not going to recuse yourself?
No, I'm denying your motion. Anything else?
In keeping with all my other denials that are also not based on legal merit or
Oh my God.
any type of law at all.
Oh my God.
Can we hear it again? That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Are you ready? We have to
Oh,
hear it
yeah.
again. Okay.
Are you not going to recuse yourself?
No, I'm denying your motion. Anything else? All right, I just received, I was
he doesn't know
handed
what to
a
do.
Dude.
motion to suppress all evidence
She threw down the "Who gon' check me, boo?" And the judge said, "Me, me, Judge Bresky. That's who gon' check you, boo."
Oh my God. What does she do after this? Is she just like, okay, like oh my God. What do you do?
If her ass wasn't shackled, she'd try to flounce out of there, but she can't.
Damn.
You know she wants
No.
to stomp off and slam a door, but they fucking have her chained up.
I would love to see her face too, Emily, because his was great. It was just so serious and straight at her, like, nah, I'm denying your motion. And then he just looked straight ahead at her, like no expression.
My favorite is when he says, real calm, "Are you done?"
I know. Oh my God. That was pretty good. You should rewind it one more time, but like a whole minute and a half or something.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Let's
you.
let's do this. Let's just watch this whole thing again. Not the whole thing, but
Yeah, this part. And then Kelly, you should stay with us and then rewatch the beginning after, because we're at the end of the hearing pretty much, but it's the best part.
it is the best part. All right, here we go.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I have to ask that you would recuse yourself from the obvious personal bias that you have against me and send us to master calendar for this scheduling of a trial.
And what personal bias is that?
A lot, obviously, the personal bias that you're showing right now and that you've shown on the FTR several times during the trial.
Okay, well, I don't have any personal bias, all right? I've over accommodated you on when you have to disclose things. In fact, your expert should be summarily precluded today, and I haven't done that. All right? So
You denied every single one of my motions since for a year and a half that I've been here. Every single one of my motions has been denied. And have any of those motions not have merit? You've denied every single motion.
I think I was here this morning about 15 minutes ago when I granted your motion to meet with your attorneys over the lunch hour. I have granted other motions of yours. Okay?
That's the first motion that you've ever granted
Well,
in my behalf.
file motions that have a legal basis, and I might grant them.
So you're saying none of my motions have had merit?
Not many, no.
And none of the motions that my first team, you denied every one of my first team's motions, you denied every one of my second team's motions, and now you denied every one of my motions until today.
I haven't denied every one of your motions.
Every single one of their motions was denied, every single one of the second team's motions were denied, and all mine. So you didn't come into this with any bias against me in the first place?
Again, file a motion that has legal merit, okay?
And none of my attorneys ever filed a motion with any legal merit?
They filed a motion on your behalf, the first team, to preclude media coverage, and I issued my ruling according to the law, all right? They filed a motion to have you dressed out, not in jail clothes during hearings like this, okay? That was not based in law. I denied that motion. So I've ruled on the motions as required by law.
Without any kind of a conclusion of law in them, just denied, 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 denied. Does that not show a bias and a prejudice against one single person?
All right, are you done?
Are you not going to recuse yourself?
No, I'm denying your motion. Anything else? All right, I was handed a motion to suppress all evidence pertaining to Jeep Wrangler.
I cannot believe it. Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Damn.
Yes. Yes. She totally acted a Karen. Actually, she went past Karen because this is in front of a judge. Okay. She lost all manner of respect at all. She went full blown Susan. And when she didn't get her way.
Susan. Not Karen.
I want to be back in the pool for a new judge. I'm not satisfied.
Can they even do that? Like put it on the master calendar with the judge not covering any of the pretrial stuff and just have him doing the trial without the. Does that happen? I never seen that happen, but
Well, it did with Sarah Boone, because the first judge, bless his heart, oh God, and then it went to Judge Kranick, and he ended up like ruling on a few motions, like pretrial motions, important pretrial motions. But truth be told, he was appointed as judge to the case in January, and that heifer was on trial by October.
wow.
Yeah.
Michelle, I think is Susan worse than a Karen.
Yes.
And you just made that up there, right? Is that a
Yeah, I
thing?
just made that up. Susan, I've not just now, I've said it a few times. I believe personally that Susan is the boss of all the Karens.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes, Susan
Oh
is
my
the boss. of all the Karens, I think.
No offense to any Susans or Karens out there.
No. But I like how he's just like done and just keeps it moving. Now
Yeah.
he's going to rule on it. Now she's made a motion to suppress all of the evidence pertaining to the Jeep Wrangler. Wait till you guys hear these ridiculous ass motions that she just
You mean
filed.
the Jeep Wrangler that she was seen on security footage with Chad at when they removed the seat the day that okay. That
Yes.
makes a lot of
That
sense.
at the storage facility, all the evidence
Crazy.
pertaining to the Jeep. Don't
To
talk
show
about the
Brandon
Jeep.
to
Don't
shut up.
think about the Jeep. Don't think about talking about the Jeep. Don't think about thinking about the Jeep. No Jeep, no Jeep at all.
We know the Jeep is the car which the shots were fired from. Too bad.
Correct. Too bad. Too bad.
Like what?
Suppress it all.
Oh my God. Okay.
Suppress it all. I want it all suppressed.
Look at Michelle. This is the first time I'm hearing that Susan is the is the boss of all the Karens. It's pretty funny.
Because she went look, there are Karens in the world, right? We all know what that means. But there are times when they go past a Karen. This was past Karen. The only thing that I can think of is a Susan.
I like it. It's pretty freaking funny.
Okay, let me rewind just shortly. Okay, because I want you guys to hear these motions that the genius over here has just filed. Okay.
Motion to suppress all
Hold
evidence.
on. After she talked crazy to the judge. Okay. These are her motions now.
We love you back, Michelle. All you.
Motion to suppress all evidence pertaining to Jeep Wrangler.
I have not received that.
Did you probably got a copy of it today or not?
No.
Oh, do we need to make copies?
I just wasn't sure if you wanted to see them beforehand.
All right, go ahead and make copies for the state. I also have a motion to dismiss for non-preservation of crucial evidence. So we'll make a copy, I guess.
I
the state
feel like
can
she
file their
misspelled crucial, and that's why he
response
laughed.
to those.
Oh my God.
All right. Anything else for today from the state's perspective?
Motions
Your
denied.
Honor.
From the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
No,
we'll see
Your Honor.
everyone on the 29th at 1 p.m. Again, that's in this courtroom.
Wow.
So she ended it sounding like Darth Vader. No, Your Honor.
I can't get over this hearing. Wow.
Yeah.
And motion, we want everything related to the Jeep suppressed,
Correct.
even though all that video evidence at the storage thing. And Brandon says that is the car the shots were fired from.
Right.
Like, that's how he knew. He recognized Tally's Jeep. He recognized it as her Jeep. Like, oh my God.
Right. Now, let me just say this, okay? I don't know if she's watching the news and she saw that last minute Hail Mary that the defense team and Stephen Stearns is pulling with the trying to get the cell phone suppressed. But I can assure you, their arguments, while I don't believe them, they're far more salient than any gibberish that came out of this one, okay,
Yeah.
as to why it should be suppressed. Yeah.
Right. About to check. I haven't checked in days.
What did you just say? Did you just
Sorry,
tell me? Did I hear you say I haven't checked?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry. There's nothing new. Nothing new. It's okay. I won't let it happen again.
You have to.
What the hell was that?
You don't know who that is?
I don't know who it is, but it was adorable. I loved it.
That's Gladys from Bewitched. She was the neighbor. She used to yell all the time, Abner, Abner, they're doing it again. She's doing it again, Abner, get over here.
Oh
She's
my
my
gosh, I
favorite.
used to
Yeah.
love that show when I
She's
was
the
little.
original Karen.
Okay. The original Karen. I said, okay, like where my brain processed it. Sometimes my mouth moves quicker than my brain.
And then just one more time for the one time. This is what Judge Bresky really wanted to say to her.
No, you shut up! Don't talk to me! Don't talk to me, criminal!
This won't make it easy for her to get an appeal or something, though, right? Like they've had these little
No.
spats. Okay, dude,
No,
the look on his face was so done with her.
Well, how do you sit there with a straight face, all up in the mic, okay, and honestly say that he's got a personal bias? The fact of the matter is, he's extended time for her. In fact, he even included her quote unquote witnesses on the jury questionnaire out of an abundance of caution, even though by the rules, none of her witnesses should be allowed. They should all be precluded because they've not been she did not properly notice them. And all she's said is the subpoenas are out there. Out there where, Lori? Do they actually exist, or is this like one of them fucking portal things you and Chad are so fond of that aren't real? Okay? Is that what's happening here? I mean, you know?
Yeah,
it's just
sorry.
too much.
I had to cough. But yeah, she is way too much. But I'm glad that I came on here with you because I've felt like crap and it made me laugh a lot.
I'm glad.
She's just between her and you and and all the chat and stuff. Yeah, you guys are awesome. But wow, she has a lot of nerve, a lot of confidence. We'll see.
It's the disrespect. I can understand, and I've watched it many times where there has been debate in the courtroom between attorneys and the judge, okay? But it's done in a respectful tone. Not she came with straight stank. That's it. That's all. She was disrespectful. She's disrespectful of the court. She's disrespectful of the audience who has earbuds in, and she's all up on that mic like it's her BFF. Like she's closer to that mic than a person putting on cherry chapstick. Okay, to back up, Lori. Somebody tell her.
Yeah. But
and if you're that worried, oh, sorry, Allie. I'm about to go on another one. I'm glad you said something. Just you please go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I still think that we should do the
yes, we will.
Behavior
Let's do
panel
it this weekend.
Okay.
Let's do it this weekend. And BT Dubs, Lori. Okay. You're so worried about the jury pool being tainted. How come you did 11 billion interviews? How come you went on Dateline? That's nationally syndicated. Okay. Not to mention the distribution that goes on because Dateline does and upload their like snippets of their stuff to YouTube. They have a channel. Then you went local, which was even dumber. I almost said stupider, but that's not really a word. It was even dumber. It was more stupid. It was more reckless. It actually shows you do not give a rat's fat kneecap because that's local.
Yeah, and the last one was absolutely just disgusting. It really was. I cannot believe her. So.
She's got a lot of, I mean, I don't know what else she's got in that jumpsuit, but, you know, I hope you need to buy a bigger size, Lori, to carry around all that audacity, ma'am.
Yeah, she does.
Weirdo.
Like
she just
her and Tisha, the same with that. You know what I mean?
She just has so much. It's just too much. All right. So that's all I had for you guys tonight. Thank you, Allie. I know it's late for you, babe. I'm going to let you get out of here. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. And also, just as a side note, because I want to say this in front of God and everybody, thank you for the chat last night. I needed it. It helped me tremendously, and I appreciate you being there for me. You are
You're
a
welcome.
good friend, and I appreciate you, and I love you.
Oh, anytime. And I love you too. And you're so
She-
welcome. And
Thank
thank
you.
you for having me today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to have you. Yes, Rachel Lee, she does. She has a lot of chutzpah. Audacity, have an ass heifer. Anyway, tomorrow, for those of you guys who are keeping up with the Karen Reed trial, we will be back. My boo thing, Mr. Alessi, will be continuing his cross-examination of the evidence technician from the Massachusetts State Police. Absolute farce, and I don't understand anything that she's saying. It makes no sense. This glass that she recovered from the bumper somehow managed to just stay on that bumper despite her despite Karen driving from 34 Fairview back to the house at Meadows, leaving the next morning, backing into John O'Keefe's car. I don't give a rat's fat kneecap what you say over there at Commonwealth. We all saw it. She hit that car. Glass didn't move. Drove all over Hell's Half Acre to Carrie Roberts, back over to Meadows, then back to her mom and dad's house. Then it was put on a flatbed truck. None of the glass moved. It's a friggin' miracle. Anywho, that's where I'll be tomorrow morning at 7:55 if you care.
I'll come by that. I bet that'll be interesting too, the cross examination of an evidence.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And Mr. Alessi is doing a fantastic job. If only we could get Judge Bev to get some couth. Judge Bev, please. Tomorrow, could you please show up to court with some couth? Stop interrupting people and asking about the lights on or off and how much longer is it going to be. That's rude. Don't do that. You do it to the defense. I haven't really seen you do it to the Commonwealth. Stop that. It's rude.
Is she still doing the like, are you done yet?
Yes.
Shit? Oh,
yes. God. Are you done yet? How much longer? You're not going to honor my AARP card, down at the bar later at 4. I got to be out of here by 4 so I can be at the bar or in the car at the yard at 4:30 because they don't. She's ridiculous and she's rude about it. I don't really care if she drinks. She's an adult. I don't give a shit about that. I don't really care about any of the other stuff. It's just that she's so rude about it. She just interrupts right in the middle of testimony.
Yeah, I remember that from last time.
She's
too.
still doing that. Yeah, no, Bev ain't changed. Bev ain't got no couth. No. I hope Mr. Alessi will let me Mr. Alessi, if somebody knows you out there in this wide world, tell him. Holla at your girl.
Call me.
I just got some questions. Call me.
All right, Bendy. Well,
All right.
thank you for having me, and I love you. I'm going to jump
Love
off,
you
I guess,
too.
and let you. Okay.
I'm going to close it out because I need to be getting to bed. I ain't got no business being up at this hour when I need to be live.
Okay. Yeah, you got to be live soon. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, chat. Bye,
All
Bendy.
right. Bye. All right, you guys. Thank you all so very, very much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. If you have not done so already, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down, whichever you feel I deserve. I ain't finna judge you. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys bright and early in la mañana for day 16 of Massachusetts versus Karen Reed. Bye.